Well, welcome back to Generon. Today I've got an interesting problem here. The missus wanted me to put her reindeer outside. It's that time of year. And when I went to plug it in, the motor stopped working. The other one seemed to work okay. I've got two of them. But this one here just will not move. And what's supposed to happen is a little reindeer's head is supposed to go up and down. So this motor is just not working. So we're going to go ahead and disassemble this motor and see if I can repair it. Okay, first things first, let's go ahead and unplug it. And looks like it's going to come out of there pretty good. So I'm going to unplug that wire there, and this is obviously just a power cord. Let's go ahead and remove some screws. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the screw that holds the reindeer's head first. Get that out of the way. Looks like we're just going to pull that off. Right. Then it looks like I've got 4 screws that hold it onto the base. Okay, so we've run into a little problem here. These are security screws, so you have to have a special screwdriver to get into them. I do not have that special screwdriver, so I went and I built one. So all we've got here is basically a standard screwdriver with a little slot cut down the middle of it, so it fits in there nice and easily. So now we can go ahead and remove those. So once you've made yours, or if you have one, let's go ahead and remove all the screws. Now I noticed the casing is cracked here, so probably water got inside. So let's go ahead and see if we can get that opened up. Oh yeah, a little bit of water damage going on here. Remove the seal. Good job at. Alright, this is going to be a problem right here. I can see that there's probably no way I can get that motor repaired, but we're going to go ahead and look at it anyways. Good news is there's enough information off the back here, so if I wanted to buy another motor, which I may. Alright, what I've done is I've gone ahead and opened this up. Just kind of took the screwdriver, just kind of pried that out of there, and it's pretty corroded, so really not a whole lot I can do, I don't think. So I'm going to go ahead and try to disassemble all of this. I'm going to take a picture of this before I start pulling the gears out and seeing if I can get this to go. The whole assembly I found online for $25, but the point is I want to see if I can fix this without having to buy it. My other idea is I've got an old microwave that I'm thinking I can might be able to take the motor out of the old microwave. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this all out of here and start with that first. Alright, well, good news. I was able to get this all apart, and I mean it is all corroded and rusted in it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to clean this all up. And in theory, if I was to clean this all up in here and just set this back inside, that should spin once I plug it in. So that's what I'm going to do, is just try to clean this up. Maybe put a little sandpaper in there, trying to get all that crust out of there, the rust and so forth. So, all right, let's continue on. Okay, I've cleaned it up pretty good in there. Pretty happy with it so far. So before I go any further, what I want to do is I'm going to take part of the motor here, the magnet part here. I'm just going to set it in there. And it turns nice and freely. But before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and plug this in and see what it does. See if I can embarrass myself on camera here. Alright. Woohoo! There we go. Look at that. It's working. Haha. Nice. Alright, so with that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up a little bit more in there. Clean up my gears. I'm going to need some sort of a lubricant, and it looks like they had Vaseline on there, so I'll put a little Vaseline on there to give it a little lubricant, and we're going to put this all together. Wow, I'll tell you, this has been something else. All right, luckily I took a picture before I took this apart so I could line everything back up, and this helped a lot. So strongly recommend you taking a picture of this before you disassemble. Just make sure you get the gears right. So before I go ahead, I've already cleaned this up the best I could. Before I go ahead and put this back on, and hopefully that's just going to kind of press back on there okay. I don't think I damaged it too bad taking it off. I'm going to go ahead and put a little Vaseline in and around here just for some lubrication, and then go ahead and pop this back on, and we'll give it the final test. I've already put some on the little pins themselves. I'm just going to put it on around the gears. I don't know just how much is too much, but there we go. Alright. Now, I'm a little concerned. I'm not exactly sure what's going to keep that from popping out now that I've pried it open. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the hammer here. I'm just going to tunk on where I pull that away. That might work actually. Okay, there it is. Let's go ahead and plug it in, see what happens. I've already cleaned this all out in here. There it is. Running like a champ. Alright, now let's go ahead and put this thing back together. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our motor in there, and just make sure that you don't pinch those wires. They're going in a certain way. Back in the housing here. And let's see now, we had 2 Phillips screws that held that in. And then we had the gasket, which was fine. The problem that we had was the water, how the water had gotten in, was we first discovered that this had a crack in it. And that crack goes all the way through, and I can actually bend that a little bit. So I'm going to take some blue RV Permatex here, and I'm going to put it around that crack and help seal it. I mean, this may last for one season. It may last a couple seasons. I still may order a new motor for it. We'll see. Now that I know a little bit more about it, I may just repair it again. Who knows? And then we have the other gaskets, the O-rings, one right there. And the other one just like that. Alrighty. So I'm going to put a little blue Permatex on this part here first. Seal that all up. And help with that crack, and I'll do the same thing on the outside once I screw it on. Alright, we're ready to put it together. Put our security screws back in. With our homemade security screw installer. Alright, and the only thing I want to do now is I want to put a little Permatex on here before I install it. Just around that crack. It's not going to be pretty. Maybe after I get done and let it dry, I'll put a little white paint on it so it doesn't stand out. Alright, plug them in. There we go. So there it is, not a whole lot to it.
one mechanical deer up and running, ready to be put out on the front lawn. I hope you enjoyed this and stay tuned for the next one.